What's going on, guys? Hope everyone is having a good day. I figured everyone's talking about the Mini 3. I might as well do something and give my input for whatever that's worth. May not be worth much, but it could be worth a little something to someone. I got a Mini 2 box, just a little visual. I got my Nano Plus, which I don't have any longer because I personally didn't think it was a great drone, and I just rather have kept it. So that's why I sold it. I still have a spare remote because I utilized one of my Autel cares with this. But regardless of that, we have the Mini 2, which I love. We got this controller, the little RCN1, which I actually love too. So the Mini 2 has always been a really amazing drone. The Mini 1 with the Wi-Fi connectivity was not, in my opinion. The Mini 2 fixed all that with OcuSync and a little smaller than a 1/2-inch sensor, just good enough to do basically whatever you want on the go. So for this price point at roughly $500, you can't go wrong. The Mini SE and the Mini 1 I would avoid personally. The Mini 2 I would buy all day long. I will never sell this drone. It is just a really cool little workhorse for just bringing around in my backpack. I actually have one of these little cases. So I got a Lycus case for my Mini 2, and I can slide this right into my Sonova backpack, which works extremely well because it's protected and sealed, and then I have the backpack to easily maneuver the Mini 2 around. So it's just been a really awesome little drone to fly with. And one thing that I didn't see anyone talking about is the sensor sizes. Now the Mini 2 has, I gotta take notes because it's kind of confusing. It's a 1/2.3-inch sensor. So that's just a little bit smaller than a 1/2-inch sensor. Then we got the Nano Plus, which is a 1/1.28-inch sensor. And then we got the Mini 3, which is a 1/1.3-inch sensor. And it was kind of confusing. I actually had to try to figure out which one is actually bigger, the Nano Plus or the Mini 3. And the Nano Plus is slightly larger. Just so you guys are aware, the 1/1.3-inch equates to basically 0.77 inches for the sensor size. And then the 1/1.28 for the Nano Plus is 0.78. So basically they're the same 3/4 size sensor for, you guys who maybe don't want to look into these weird little ratio kind of things. But the Nano Plus, slightly bigger. At the end of the day, they're essentially identical sensor sizes at 3/4 inch. And that's that. So we have normally 1/2-inch sensors, APS-C, full frame. We have micro 4/3, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, these little weird sensor sizes, the whole 1/1.28, I had to kind of research. But just so you're aware, the Nano Plus is just a hair bigger than the Mini 3, but they're essentially the same size, meaning they should do about the same low light ability. I've been watching a few videos here and there. I don't want to watch too many because I don't really care that much, honestly. I know the Mini 3 is going to be a decent drone. Of course, it's going to be more evolved than the Mini 2, and of course, than the Nano series, because that's their first year releasing this drone. And in my opinion, it's really a lame drone, and they kind of failed miserably, unfortunately, and Autel's been having a really hard time with support. So, I don't know, I would avoid this drone personally at all costs and go with the Mini series drone over the Autel Nano series, just because it's just way more reliable, and the support so far is actually better with DJI. Can't even believe I'm saying that. So, it's pretty wild, but Autel needs to really step up the game. It's unfortunate because they are a really good company with a really good product and a really good sensor, and I think they have the potential to really kick ass and do well in the drone market, and I'm sure they are doing well, but they could really do that much better if they had a really solid support team and their updates were up to par. And again, just having the Nano series drone with that raw color cast was really sloppy, in my opinion. That should have been addressed immediately. I think it just finally got addressed with the last firmware update. The Mini 3 Pro is going to come, I believe, with a few different options. I noticed that you could only reserve if you're just buying the drone without the controller, without this RCN1, for example. It should ship like August or something. So that's not going to happen. I'm not going to wait that long. I wish I could get the drone earlier, meaning now, but I can't. We all have to wait patiently. So you have basically a few options. You can buy the Mini 3 without a controller. You can buy the Mini 3 with this controller. If you already have one of these controllers, of course, it really doesn't make sense. Or you can go ahead and spend another $150 roughly and get that new smart controller, which is 700 nits. My iPhone 13 Pro is 1000 nit. And I don't really have an issue. I had never had my iPhone 13 Pro Max force dim on me yet in hot weather, and I just came back from Hawaii, and it's been in the 80s and almost low 90s here in Illinois sometimes. So I have not had any issues with the 13 Pro Max. So anyone kind of contemplating, the 12 Pro Max gave me nothing but headaches flying and using as a device for my drones, but the 13 Pro Max has been rock solid, knock on wood. I'm hoping it stays that way. But of course, for another $150, under $200, you might as well get that controller just to have as an option. I mean, you can save a little money and not opt to get that controller and just utilize this, which I probably will end up using a lot because, as I said, I do like having my iPhone to fly with. I'm one of the oddballs, but for $150, you might as well have that controller to use as an option. Say, for example, you just are using this for the Mini 2 or it's tied up or you forget it. You might as well have another option, and it's pretty much a no-brainer. You kind of are an idiot, sorry, if you don't go ahead and buy that smart controller for the Mini 3. $150 extra, totally worth it, I'm sure. I talked to Greg from Pilot Institute. He said that he was flying with it in Arizona. The 700 nits seemed to work pretty well for him. He mentioned that it's a simple smart controller. There's not the ability to go ahead and put all the different apps on it. So I like that it's simple and there's not a lot going on with the Android system that you just have to get kind of confused with. I mean, I know the Nano Plus is really amazing in low light. But with that being said, the Nano Plus flew horribly to me. It gave me nowhere near the flying experience of even the Mini 2. Of course, the Mini 3 is going to be that much more evolved. It's going to have, I think, OcuSync 3.0. You also have the ability to do vertical video, which is pretty cool for the creative side of things, for reels and just any kind of creative thing that you want to do. I can go ahead and offer that to clients and charge another $250, for example, for real estate or whatever it may be that I'm getting into, just to have a little social media blip that I can offer clients, as I said. So that's really neat, having the ability to adjust the gimbal higher and point up a little bit more than you could with, say, the Mini 2, because it has this little guy that's not going to allow that to happen. So having the ability to have that clear side of the Mini 3 where the gimbal can actually raise up pretty high and look at the sky more, that's going to give, of course, a lot of creative possibilities with that. So between the vertical video and the gimbal pointing higher, that's going to be super awesome creatively and having just a fun experience with this kind of drone. The Mini 2 is rock solid. I love this drone. I still prefer flying this. Even when I had my Nano Plus, the Nano Plus always felt cheap and just kind of crappy. And this felt really like a complete package. And we got the Mini 3 that now offers 2 different batteries. One, I believe, is going to be, I want to say 34 minutes, and the Plus is going to be around 47, I believe. Don't, maybe off a minute or two, but you'll have the ability to get different capacity batteries, which will bring you over the 249 gram mark. But at the same time, who really cares? I don't mind registering my drone. I don't mind a little heavier drone to get 47 minutes. It allows you to chill and kind of create and cruise around and just not worry and stress as much. There is nothing like a little extra battery and a little extra time in the air. Like the Inspire, that's one of the big downsides. You basically have to time your shots. You get this big expensive drone in the air. You have to nail your shot and then come back down and land. I mean, there's just more going on, and it's just more stressful of an experience when you have to be kind of rushed through your flight. So you definitely have to plan more with a drone like that with a shorter battery life. And I like that they're kind of getting towards the 60-minute mark. I mean, if we can keep this thing up in the air for 60 minutes one day, which I'm sure we will, they'll be pretty badass. So I'll buy a Mini 3 soon. I talked to DJI. I have my DJI Select membership still. Of course, you can't use any of the coupons ever. That program is on its way out, or it's out. I still happen to have my membership going until, I think, the beginning of June. But of course, the coupons don't work on a new release. There's all kind of stipulations with that DJI Select. I wish they had some kind of you know, pro type service comparable to an NPS, like a Nikon professional service or Canon professional services, or Sony has a professional thing too. DJI should have something similar in my opinion. I would spend $300 a year or something to get expedited service and quicker, you know, shipping times when you get a release date. So to me, that would be something that they should implement that actually is more professional, something a little bit more than the DJI Select that they had going, which is probably why they discontinued, because it was kind of novelty. I mean, they would give you like a birthday coupon or something. I mean, in theory, it was kind of nice, but the reality is the coupons barely worked on anything. The only thing that was kind of cool is they gave you a 50% off refresh, which I tried to use on the Mini 3 purchase and it wouldn't work. So that's it. I really wanted to touch on the sensor sizes of these drones, and just know that the Mini 2 is just slightly under a ½ inch and it does the job. It does a good job. I'm not flying this thing in dark situations mostly, and if you are, it's still not that bad of a drone. The Nano Plus I got rid of, and I would say if you're gonna kind of opt for any of them, I would go for the Mini 2 or the Mini 3. The only reason you would probably buy the Autel is if you really were wanting no geofencing. The controller on this is not bad actually. The app and this controller is far better. The Fly app's better than the Sky app in my opinion. Of course, it's more evolved because it's been around longer. So hopefully Autel will get their crap together and kind of refine their Nano series drones and their light. I don't even know too much about the light series drone. I haven't flown one, but I got my Evo 2 Pro, which I love. And the Mini 3 should be a fun little drone. As I said, the main reason I would buy it is because of the vertical video and because I love this series drone and I want to see what the Mini 3 has to offer, and because the gimbal will go a little bit higher, which allows for a lot of creative possibilities, especially when flying low. So for me, I'm all about that. I like the ability to kind of point up at the sky and get different perspectives. I think stepping outside the norm of just shooting straight level horizon is kind of cool, especially if you're doing more abstract stuff. So that's why I'm going to get the Mini 3. And for you guys, if you're on the fence, this is definitely a great value still. The Mini 2 is a great entry-level drone. I would avoid the SE or the Mini 1 and either get the Mini 2, get the Mini 3, or even a Nano Plus. I would avoid the Nano altogether, but the Nano Plus, I guess, would be the only option, and it's a kind of expensive one at probably around $1,200 now. I can't believe that actually I got my Evo 2 Pro on the go bundle at B&H for $1,200, and now it's at $2,500. So prices going up is no joke, and yeah, that's it. So Mini 3 for the win, Mini 2 for the win, Nano Plus kind of sucks, and that's it, guys. Subscribe if you haven't, hit the thumbs up, it will help out, and I will be doing more videos soon. That's it.